I did think this was really freaking stupid, and these guys obviously knew what the hell they were doing. Like, they didn't use Nintendo's name, they didn't plaster images all over the Kickstarter here, but we did a video. I uploaded it early this morning, but I recorded it late last night. I was honestly just like chilling, sitting in my bed, and I stumbled across this Kickstarter, and I saw some people talking about it. I didn't even know who had done videos on this thing. I just knew people done videos on this thing promoting it, and I thought it was scummy. I still haven't watched those videos. Now I do know who did those videos, and I talked shit before knowing who did those videos, and I still do mean the shit that I talked. Shame on those people for promoting this thing. Like I said in my previous video, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, we have to protect Nintendo. That was not my point whatsoever. My point completely was, this is not the way you go about things. You kickstarting, crowdfunding something that Nintendo owns is the dumbest crap I've ever seen. Just because other people have sold repros before, because supposedly this guy has sold one of these before as well, doesn't freaking matter. Nintendo is very litigious, and you guys were being very greedy. $150 all the way up to I think it was like $376 for a basic ass cartridge. These were not like full on Nintendo World Championship cartridges with the switches and everything in them. They're just a basic ass board, ROM hack style. Bam. I get it. If you develop a ROM hack and you put it out there, people are going to produce cartridges and make money off of your efforts. It happens every time. My point was, you do some nonsense like this, regardless that to me, it's very scummy. Oh, you're celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Nintendo World Championships by making something unofficial. And oh, it's so limited. It's so limited, but you had no rights to do it. But it's so damn limited that it's worth selling for hundreds of freaking dollars. It's stupid, scummy. Was a ripoff in my opinion. All my opinion. Maybe some people thought it was worth it. That's your opinion. But my thing is that you're going about this on Kickstarter, crowdfunding, where if these people gave you their money and then the crowdfunding campaign ended and the money was withdrawn from their bank accounts, from their credit cards, and say months and months and months went by, and then finally Nintendo did put a stop to it or something, or even just immediately after, these people would have headaches trying to get their money back if they ever could. That is what my issue was, my main issue. The lesser issue is that I thought it was a ridiculous amount of money, but the main issue was that people backing this thing potentially would lose their money. And shame on anybody for promoting this nonsense. Like, if you wanted to do something like this, don't crowdfund it. Produce the stupid ass cartridges and then sell them. Like, you were selling a few hundred cartridges and you needed to crowdfund this. That's the one thing that annoys me is, why was this ever something that needed to be crowdfunded for a few hundred freaking copies of a game that these fools didn't own, that they didn't put much effort into at all? A ROM hack. Oh, you start on World 8-1 instead of 1-1 in Super Mario. Did you program that game? No. Oh, you start in a different track on Rad Racer. What the hell? Why the hell? Oh, you need the materials. Well, then you shouldn't be doing this to begin with. Wasn't your game. You just put a lot of people at risk. And that really is what annoyed me. Like I said, I don't care. Like, oh, we gotta protect Nintendo. I've never been that kind of person. It's more about not letting people get ripped off. And that was what I was seeing the possibility of happening here. Do this somewhere else. Produce your stupid little cartridges and sell them to people who may want them. Like I said, you put a ROM hack out there, you're going to find the damn game on AliExpress for $12. Guaranteed. It's gonna happen. If you want to make it a little nicer looking in a little box, put a little manual out there, okay, I get it. Sell your stupid game. It's not your game, but sell the damn game. Sell your ROM hack. Make a few bucks if you want, but don't put other people at risk. Only put yourself at risk. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to a crowdfunding campaign where once these people's money gets taken from them, they're shit out of luck. Like I said, shame on the people promoting this stuff who should have known better, who really should have known better and questioned this. Like I've always said with Kickstarters, man, I've said it for the longest time because I've talked about plenty of Kickstarters, either things that looked stupid or I was interested in, or that I felt like I got ripped off on, where I'm just like, hey, you know, if it was something that I was even mildly interested in or crazy interested in, it's like, even if I felt confident in these people, you never freaking know. Like, go into a crowdfunding campaign, a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, with the thought that things may not go the way that these fools say that it's going to go. You may never get the product that you pledged for. You may never get a product, period. Like, do you guys remember what was that thing, the Dream Arcade? What was that, like 2018 or something? It was some years ago, man. And that thing turned out to be a big pile of crap. It wasn't even what they initially said it was going to be. Nobody talks about that thing anymore. I don't even think anybody uses that thing anymore. Is that thing even supported anymore? Like, I felt like I was burned on that. I've been burned on a couple Kickstarters. So yeah, it's always been a thing. If I've ever talked about a Kickstarter, back at your own risk. But this was way too risky. And that's why I did the video that I did. And I'm glad it's down. Like, I'm not the kind of person that like hates on other people, but this was more of a thing where I just saw a risk. So let's quickly look at this copyright thing. So it shows that the sender, Wildwood Law Group, I looked them up. It's just like a law group that deals with copyright infringement and intellectual property law. Regarding the NWC 35th edition new developed pro version for the NES, description of copyrighted material. Nintendo owns copyrights in all aspects of its Super Mario Brothers Rad Racer video games, including but not limited to its characters, audio, visual works, and software covered by U.S. copyright registration numbers, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And there you go. Description of infringing material. The reported campaign displays images of Nintendo's Mario character, portions of the audio-visual works from Nintendo's Super Mario Brothers and Rad Racer video games in connection with the creation and distribution of unauthorized software that incorporates copyright-protected material from Nintendo's video games in violation of Nintendo's rights. How can somebody be so stupid to think in this day and age, with how litigious Nintendo is, the nonstop craziness that has gone on, regardless if you think it's right or wrong, of Nintendo going after people, who would ever even risk doing something like this in a crowdfunding campaign? Morons, I say. But I'm glad it's gone, so nobody can get ripped off via this campaign, because it was bound to happen. But there you go. The update. I'm done with this. Bye.